Hey, welcome to the Geek Retreat podcast, the number one podcast for casual geeks. This is episode 25.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
All right, hey, welcome. I am your host, Steven. I'm joined today with Mick.
What's happening?
And Jason.
I am the terror that flaps in the night. I am the gum underneath your shoe.
Wait, keep going. It's
Is
coming
that
together.
Little Rascals?
Nope.
No, Little Rascals.
What is that off of?
You're, what's that?
Oh, no, I'm thinking about when he's talking about...
When he's talking to the little girl.
Yeah.
You're the scum between my toes.
My toes.
Jason, I don't know that movie.
No, it's not a movie.
Oh, well, then what are you throwing us off like that for?
Yeah, see that curveball? The change up.
That's not how you throw a change up.
I
don't know.
Anyway, go ahead.
That's Darkwing Duck, man. That's the after school special right there for
Oh,
you guys.
man. That's on Netflix now or on one of the Disney. I think it's on Disney
Is
Plus.
it really?
My kids have been watching it. That and
nice.
DuckTales. DuckTales. Woo, woo. Yep. Well, hey, guys, guess what? This week's episode is brought to us by audible.com.
Yes.
I can't believe those words just
Nice.
came out of my mouth. We have
Can
a
you believe it?
sponsor this week.
Sponsor.
And we're not even playing this time. I
Audible.com.
know we said it a couple
Yeah,
times.
we're not
but
joking.
actually
Yeah,
for real.
This is like for real. We'll get more into that later into the podcast, but that's big
That's big.
news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Really
Find
good
out-
for people that can't read.
yeah, I know.
Like
Yeah,
me.
It's great. We'll get more into that later in the episode. But yeah, it's week 25, guys. I think we're like almost exactly 6 weeks into this thing.
That's
6
crazy.
months. 6 months. I meant 6 months into this podcast. This might be the exact 6-month episode, which is nuts. Which means
know.
that we've been doing this
We've
for a
been
while.
at it for a while, man.
It's now a habit. You know, they say
Yeah.
it takes like 24 days to start a habit.
It's nuts.
It's awesome. I've been enjoying it. Like we said in the beginning, we are the number one podcast for casual geeks. That's what we are. We're casual geeks who love talking about weird stuff going on and geeky stuff in games and TV and entertainment, and we're going to bring it to you every Monday. So let's get
and we
started.
share it with you.
Yeah, we're sharing our thoughts and our feelings.
What's the news, Steven?
What's the news? Well, we got do you guys me and Jason have watched Cursed, and we're going to talk about that today. And do we want to start off with that or do we want to end with that?
Okay, you know what? If we're gonna start with that, let me, because I
Get
think
into
I brought
character?
this. Let me brought this to character because I brought this out, right? So there was a episode that we had, and I was like, dude, I saw the tightest trailer I ever saw. You guys need to
Yeah,
check
I
it
remember.
out.
That was like, I'll put it
And-
up in the link. I'll put a
Yeah.
I'll put a card up in
Check that
the video
episode out.
podcast.
I
Yeah.
was so juiced for this series.
It did look dope.
It looked
trailer
so
was
dope.
awesome. The
And
trailer
then they
was
made it, and
awesome.
then I was like, no, it can't. There's because it had all these effects and transitions, and they're the cutting between, and they were all linked together. How it was just so poetic, man. It was just like, I was like, ooh, right? It's getting so hyped. And then they put out, and I was like, no, on the episode, I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know if they can do that in the series, but it got my interest.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The
but,
trailer did
we'll
its
see.
job.
It
All
did.
the
It was
That's
a
what
teaser
you said.
trailer that teased,
Yeah.
and it was awesome.
And it did, and it got people's attention, and it got people wanting to see it. It definitely hooked me. It got me wanting to see it.
Yeah.
And they
Their
put out
whole-
the actual trailer, and then I was like, okay, so this is kind of more what I thought it was going to be like. So I was like, okay, cool, but let's see what they got.
Their whole
And-
budget went towards the trailer.
The whole budget went towards the trailer. Why is there more effects in that
Yeah.
trailer than the whole season? Nobody wants to watch a season of Merlin who don't have no magic.
Okay.
Why-
Let's
why
back
do
up.
we-
Jay,
Okay,
hold
I'm
on,
sorry.
Let's step it down. Whoa, Jason is me and
Woosah.
Jason have been. We literally
Woosah.
finished this episode, this series like on Tuesday or Wednesday, and we've seen each other in Crossing at work, and we're just like, no. We can't talk about it. Save it for the podcast. So this episode is probably going to be heavily Cursed based. We are going to get into some Xbox stuff a little bit
Cursed
later.
and
but
cursing. because
Cursed is going to be Jason's going to go off the handle. So prepare yourself. There'll probably be major spoilers ahead. So just be aware if you haven't seen Cursed, fast forward a little bit. And,
Oh yeah, thanks for saying that because I was
Yeah.
getting ready to.
yeah, so we are going to get into some major spoilers for Cursed. So Cursed is the newest Netflix series, original series, and it's based off of the Arthurian mythology. That's King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, all of that stuff. And we kind of like everybody's in it with the names and everything. They sound familiar, but it's a new take on that mythology. And it came out, and so yeah, the trailers were good. They caught our attention, but I think that's all it caught. Was our attention for that. So okay, Jason, go ahead. Yeah.
So okay, so I mean, and I knew it was a reimagining, so I went in there open-minded, and I was like, okay, this is not going to be the story that I know. Let's see what they do with it. Let's whatever.
Right.
I like the premise. The premise of it going in, I thought was pretty cool. So I was like, okay, let me run with it. However, and I like Catherine Langford. She's our protagonist, and I like her usually.
Yeah.
I don't think the production and the people on it did her any favors. They totally disregarded the fact that she needs sword training. Now, Stephen, I want to ask you.
Yes. No. Yes. Yeah.
I want to ask you about this because it pissed me off. But if you really want to logically think about it, because she obviously doesn't have any swordplay training
ever
at all. But what they did, what you can tell, is they didn't give her sword training, but they gave her the choreography with the sword, which is two totally different things.
Yeah.
And so you can tell she's never wielded a sword before. But now her character in the show is not supposed to have.
Right.
So I want to ask you your opinion on it, but what I took from it is, okay, yeah, I get it. So she's supposed to look like that with a sword. But it's a season. Give me some gradual progression.
Yes.
I want to see her start to get better with it.
Give me a montage. There's never that build up. Make it a 2-minute montage of her training with, like, Arthur's the guy who, pulls the sword out and he knows how to wield it, and he's like a sellsword. He knows what he's doing with the sword. And you never get that. And she's like known as the wolf blood witch.
Yeah.
And like she's known to like cut people down. There's a whole episode called The Red Lake, and the Red Lake is about her killing a bunch of the King's Guard in the lake. And it's like, you don't have any experience with the sword, and we're just supposed to like buy into the fact that this sword has made her like ultra powerful. And it's messed up. It's like you feel weird watching it. You're just like, when am I going to get that? And it never comes. So I felt the same way.
Yeah. And I just think she was out of her element the whole season. I thought the sword concept was cool with it being luring to some degree, kind of like the ring from Lord of the Rings, I guess. But I don't know, man. Yeah, like you said, a montage would have been great. I just need to see her be able to become one with the sword. I didn't see that, and what really irritated me too is because I'm looking for. This is what happened. Sorry, my mind's all over the place because I'm like,
you should have.
This is what happened to me when I watched this.
Down.
I actually went back to a few episodes and rewatched them. Not because they were cool, not because they were good, because I was like, did I miss something?
Did I miss something?
Asleep?
Yeah.
Because the trailer had a bunch of scenes in it that are not in the season at all. And I don't know if they're saving it for the second season. They don't even know if they're getting a second season because I think
the rankings are going down. I don't know what
I don't think that they're going to make it. Because if
IMDb,
you try to save those
like a 5
for your
right
season
now.
2,
yeah,
and you don't even know if you're going to get a season 2, what was the point of doing that? You might as well just extend it, get 12 episodes here or 15 out of it, so that way you can make sure you put everything that you shot in there.
Right.
But they left out some cool shots in there, some cool scenes I thought in there when she really came out of the water when she was. Anyway, they left all that stuff out, and it's like the bulk of the action happens at the end, if at all, and like you really don't get anything that they showed on the trailer.
So there were a few good like tense moments that I really enjoyed in the first couple episodes, but I felt like two things. I felt like they were trying to like feed us a bunch of information, and we're supposed to just kind of like grab onto it and hold on to it. But I also felt like they were I really wish they would have like spread the story out. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like I felt like they were just trying to like force information on us to get the story moving. But if
Mhm.
you're going to have a slow story, I'd rather you build the world behind it and take your time in it instead of trying to rush it and still give us a slow story.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, I'm confused. Like I have a whole bunch of thoughts in my head too. The things I did like early on when she's in the Abbey, when she hurts the first red coat and she almost kills him. She like strings him up in the tree. It's like the
Yeah.
very first time she uses her power, and it's
Right.
still kind of unknown. And we get the flashbacks of the bear a little bit, but she's in the Abbey and like she's kind of being hunted down at that time. Like people know she's in there, but it's that thing where the audience knows, but they don't know. I really liked that moment. I felt like it built a lot of intensity in the moment, in the scene. You kind of like, oh crud, is like she gonna get caught? What's gonna happen when she gets caught? And like all this stuff, like the weeping nun the weeping monk can feel feel her there. And like that episode was really good, but I wanted more of like that kind of stuff. Here's my thought. Here's my big general thought. We've been spoiled with like Game of Thrones. And I feel like we're going to hold this up to the quality of Game of Thrones. And we can't, because we're going to be super let down. Especially if anything, this felt like season 8 of Game of Thrones more than anything. It was just like, I didn't know where time was in certain things. There's a part where they're in the dungeon, they're in that cave, and then they go to help out by the wind. Nimue and I can't remember Nimue's friend, the girl, Arthur's sister.
The Arthur's sister.
Yeah. And then
I forgot her name too.
Yeah. So like they go and help out at the windmill because Arthur's with the Green Knight in the windmill, and they like do the whole storm thing, and it's just like there's such a disconnect of like time there. You know what I mean? You're like, okay, it seems like they're like days away, and then they do the whole okay, time jump, and you're just like distortion. And that happened a few other times.
It happened a few times, yeah.
The one thing that really took me away was that I didn't like they had these like animated transitions between scenes. I felt like it took
thank you for
out of
mentioning
the
that.
game. Like,
so thank you for mentioning that.
Out of the show.
Okay, I know this is your point, but I just
go.
So we mentioned the trailer. The trailer had such of the most smoothest transitions you can make in cinematic universe, you know? And so then to go from that and then your actual scenes to do what they did is, I don't know what the thought process was behind that, because you had these awesome transitions that you're doing here, and then you create this whole different weird one that didn't think collectively bring together the two scenes at all very well.
Well, it's weird too, because like it not only just, it would have been different if it just like was some trees and transition, but it was like those transitions were telling another story. And I'm like, I'm supposed to pick up on like this story in a transition while I'm trying to follow this story in the actual story. And it was such a disconnect.
It was. I don't know what the idea was behind that. That was dumb. I hated that.
The big one was for me was where the one I was the most frustrated about, the biggest transition I was the most frustrated about was the one where I can't remember the name of Arthur's sister. Sister Igraine, is that it? Sister Igraine, I believe that's it.
Something along those lines. Yeah.
So she gets set on this quest about like become kind of like you feel like she's gonna backstab Nimue a little bit. She gets set on this quest to like she's gonna be the one in power with the sword. And then this whole time Merlin has been talking to this like Oracle of Death who's been presenting who's gonna die.
I like her.
Next. She was cool. So at the climax of this whole battle thing that's happening, Sister Igraine runs into the Oracle behind a tent. Do you remember this scene, Jason?
I'm sorry, I was looking her up. What happened?
So you remember the scene where they're at the battlefield and Igraine runs into the Oracle of Death behind the tent? That she like confronts her to stop. It cuts. It like she jumps at her and it cuts to one of those transitions, and the transition shows a sword going through the Oracle. So I'm like, wait a second. Did somebody die? And then it cuts to a whole different scene. And then the big reveal is that Sister Igraine did kill the Oracle and now became the Oracle.
Okay, well, first of all, her name is the Widow. She's the Widow. She's Death's daughter.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
And so yeah, I remember that, but I don't remember the sword part. Maybe I missed that, but I remember she grabbed her.
It was
and
in
she
the
said,
animation.
"Oh, it was in the animation."
That's what I'm saying. Like you're gonna
Yeah, I
put
totally missed that.
You're gonna put a death scene of a pretty important character of the widower or the widow, and you don't even put it on screen. Like that's a huge opportunity missed. That would have been a big reveal on screen, something that we know as the audience, and not
Her name is Morgan.
Morgan.
She was Morgan. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
Morgan
I just felt like there was such a like disconnect between the whole thing, and then it reveals that she like stands in front of Nimue and she hands Nimue the cursed sword, Excalibur, and you're just like, wait, who is she? How did she become? And then she explains that she killed the widow, and I just like it was such a bad way of doing it. It
So
was
yeah,
such a like, not
I
good way
you
of
took
doing it.
that from me, and that was one of my things that I was gonna nail in the coffin with, but because I really like the widow. So the widow, like I said,
Yeah.
is Death's daughter, and she's the one that collects the souls. And every time she was on the screen, I was like,
You're like,
"This is dope.
Yeah.
This is awesome. I like her." And I understand that she's not a character that's part of the story that you can follow, but I would like to have. I liked it every time she was there. I wanted to see
how
more.
did she become that? What is this?
Yeah.
Give us the whole backstory.
But I understand that she's kind of throwaway. But and just to be fair, the Weeping Monk, you mentioned him a couple of times.
Yep.
I liked him too.
Yep.
Although he was kind of like a brooding kind of type, so you don't get much from his character.
You don't get much from him until like the very last episode.
Yeah, then you start to find out about him. I'm not going to say the spoiler, but
well, we said spoilers.
Yeah, well,
what?
I'm still not going to say it. If you want to watch it, you'll find out for yourself.
Should I?
If you want to say it, you'll say it. But I like those two characters. So I just want to point out something positive about it. I did like those two characters, and I think they kind of made it interesting.
Yeah, they did.
And I followed. I mean, and the story kind of, like I said, it still had promise. It still had potential the whole time. So I kept watching to see. So like, I feel like this is going to get better. I feel like this is going to get better. It never really did. Arthur, get that whack dude out of here.
Yeah.
That ain't no Arthur. Dude.
Yeah, they like trashed the name of King Arthur.
He was like
a
this
scoundrel and a
dishonorable. He tried to go to his uncle and claim that he had honor and made up this whole story about him and the sword. He stole the sword from Nimue and then tried to say that this lady passed it along to me because I helped her and blah 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 and
well, they did the thing where like I feel like they were trying to set him up as like he's a bad guy who's going to have a redemption storyline. But the whole time I'm like, this guy is not a good guy. The whole time he finally redeemed himself kind of at the end of the season in the windmill.
With the whole Civil War thing once they took that city, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. When
that guy.
Well, like you remember when he helped the Green Knight and like in the windmill? That's the scene. That's what I'm talking about. That was kind of like the turn of his character arc was he was like really doing it to be honorable, not to like gain something out of it. But like when he was like, when he was like, come, stay here and I'll keep you safe. I'm like, the sword's gone. Like the sword's going. And it happened. He took the sword and he went back but I don't know.
Whack dude, he was whacked the whole damn time to me. I ain't never liked him.
Yeah.
I ain't never liked him.
So the last thing,
even that part you talked about, and then the part when I was talked about when he's like, hey, they cut my hands off too. I'm like, man, get out of here. No, your hands are useless anyway. You ain't did nothing.
Yeah, nobody cares. So the other thing about cutting hands, I feel like the blood CG was so like bad and over the top.
The CG in the movie, period, was bad. And because like I said, there was no magic, no effects throughout the whole damn thing.
Right.
Very little action sequences. But when they did do something, it was graphics that someone in their garage with Adobe Suite can do by themselves. Let alone some production that's on Netflix. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Just step your game up.
I don't even know how big the budget was for this movie.
It don't matter, man. No one cares about that. Well, I mean, you care about it, obviously, but when you're watching something like that, you don't care how much their budget. The budget was this, so maybe that's why. No, you want to see quality content. You want it to be good, no matter what.
I know. When Netflix comes out and they're saying that this is our big bad, like, it's got to produce, and it just didn't. There's a scene where like you meet Arthur, and then you meet his like band of criminals that he runs with, and there's the main leader guy, and remember when he gets his hand cut off, the main leader.
Yeah.
And it was like 5 gallons of blood poured out of this guy's arm. And you're just like, how is this guy, how is he still alive? That was a main artery. That guy should be dead. That's a lot of blood to come out. And 2, he's just like, like it's like the worst acting ever. It's so bad. It's like, I'm gonna kill you. It's just like blood is just like oozing out of his. Oh, it's so bad. So bad. So,
and another thing, dude, so much stuff. So when they went to that town and she went in by herself, and she was supposed to create some kind of diversion while everybody gets behind and gets the higher ground and stuff like that. So why, if there's this witch,
right,
someone with power walks in casually to you, you got this whole crowd, this whole town of people surrounding her, and they just looking on.
Yeah, I know.
And then one guy has the balls to fight her, and they're fighting one-on-one with all these people standing around with weapons in their hand.
Just like, what
is going on
here?
You
know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of The Rise of Skywalker, not the Last Jedi. It reminded me of The Last Jedi, the scene with Snoke when they're in the room fighting Snoke. That choreography, how bad it was. It reminded me of that, and I'm like, why is it like there's nobody attacking her, and they know she's the most dangerous person? They could have just everybody jumped on and killed her, and like there'd have been nothing, but everybody's kind of standing around. One guy gets slashed. What are we gonna do? Like,
it's her. It's her.
Yeah,
it's her.
It's like, everybody go get her. Have a plan in place. You know she's coming in.
Right.
It was really
it's just so stupid.
Done.
I didn't even mention the widow stuff yet. Let me go back to the widow.
Oh, okay.
So she was such a I don't want to say powerful, but like for someone of that caliber, that entity, should not be so easily killed. I don't care what weapon you got.
Yeah, especially by somebody who like
someone who's
you don't even
who was a nun 5 episodes ago.
Somebody who has nothing to do with that character.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't even know who that person is. She has one encounter with her, and it's after she agrees to come to the dark side or whatever. You know what I mean? Like she agrees to follow that witch, the spider god.
Yeah.
She meets her once in the room, and then she kills her off screen.
That's what really bothers me most of all.
Yeah. How do you write that? How do you write that?
She first of all, she has no business killing her.
If anybody kills
her,
you're
gonna do it, and you're gonna do it off screen. You're just gonna appear magically. Oh, now I'm her.
Yeah. It's just like it was so poorly done. The way you handle that is the only person who can kill her, the widow, in the first season is Merlin. That's it. Like Merlin has to kill her, and because that's
what was the purpose of her dying in the first place?
I don't know because not only did she kill her off screen and do it poorly, it totally changed her storyline too. Because she starts her storyline in the dungeon in the cave where she makes the agreement with, I can't remember the name of the god. It's like some god. Her dead lover comes back and says like, you need to come to the dark side and you'll be in power. You'll be the one with the sword. She promises her that.
Yeah.
And she's like then set on this mission of like, oh, I'm going to secretly, underhandedly take the sword from Nimue and Arthur and all these people who think that they're going to get the sword. And then like she becomes the widower. Now, how is the widow going to be the one who takes the sword? How can that happen? It can't be. I don't know. It's just like
I was going one more thing to say about this thing. Yeah, it is. Okay. It's very sloppy.
I think people get the point, so maybe we should wrap.
I just want to say one more thing because this is another thing that really irked me. You guys remember when we watched Extraction?
Mm-hmm.
And there was a punk kid in that Extraction that I did not like.
Yeah.
There's a punk kid in this series.
Wait, Percival?
A nun. It goes by name Sister Iris.
Yes.
Who
we didn't even talk about that.
Her character is so stupid and pointless. She has no motive for anything that she does, but she's so just hell bent on being bad for no apparent reason whatsoever. She was a nun, and then like she wanted to join the what's the red clergyman people call it?
I don't remember whatever the church.
Cardinal,
the church.
You wanted to join, So she wanted to join them and help slaughter all these people. And then they were like, no, you can't. And then like she finally kept trying and came across a group of people who were like, okay, the only way you can do it is if you give us the head of the wolf blood witch.
Right.
And so the rest of the season she's trying to,
and it's not even like a real. It's one of those things where it's not even a real like mission. It was a joke said by one of the guys who was just like, nobody can kill her. If you can kill her and bring her her head, you can be part of it. And like that puts her on a path.
And then she finally meets her at the end. And now, after you mentioned what you just mentioned, Steven, now Morgan is the widow now. She's death. So she has power. She has the sword, right? So she comes after her and Merlin on this bridge. And we did say spoiler, right?
Yep.
So she's shooting arrows and killing Nimoy while Morgan, the powerful one now, is
watching her.
No!
Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Mick, you asked if you should watch it. I would say if you want to just put your own in, yeah. Hey, Mick, welcome to this episode, by the way.
Yeah, hey, how's it going,
I haven't said nothing.
I'm probably not going to watch nothing. As you can see, I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
I got caught up with other things.
But I don't know. Like, you could watch it. Don't watch it. Don't watch it. I mean, if you think you might get something out of it, I would say go for it. If you got nothing else to watch,
everything on Netflix.
I found myself
Amazon already.
I found myself sitting through about episode 5 is like when you're like, okay, this show's either going to be good or bad. Like, that's the point where movies usually turn, or books usually turn. Like, oh, dang, this like picked up in the season.
It sounds like this series is going to be tasteful to a small few, because I've heard good things about it from my mom, my wife. I mean, it's just it's a reimagination. My wife was all like, I don't know what it is. It's a reimagination, but in turn, it's like maybe a prequel to.
Yeah, it was definitely before the sword is in the stone and Arthur gets it and all that stuff.
Right,
yeah,
it's all a mixture of different things.
So I did want to say
they repurpose a couple characters and stuff like that. I was interested when I heard about it, and
it is interesting. It's so interesting. The concept is
great. It really they have
great. Yeah. It's compelling. It's creative. I love it.
Right.
The execution of it though.
Right. So I did want to say something. I did research, like, okay, I don't know, like, I know King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. I get that. But, like, there's also, like, myths about how, like, so before King Arthur got the sword, he actually got it from this woman called the Lady of the Lake, who is also known as Nimue.
Yeah, right. So that's her, yeah.
So it was cool. Like, they repurposed her to be the main character and not the Lady of the Lake, this person. So it was just some cool things that I leaned into. And, like, you know how what's his name, the wizard Merlin.
Isn't Merlin supposed to be like super old? Like he doesn't.
Yeah, he's like I think he's like 700 years old. Or
like 8. Old. I wonder if this is just like a prequel, prequel. You know what I mean? Way. You know how they say time over time things just start over again.
Have you been watching Dark?
No, I haven't watched Dark. But you know,
if anybody watching Dark, they'll get that reference.
And with all this chick is going through Nimue, she eventually becomes the Lady of the Lake.
Right.
When the second.
No, they weed that out because
they're going.
No, because they show Merlin, like, remember that flashback they have where they go into like the trance and they go see, and she sees Merlin with the sword, and he's like tearing down a civilization.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And like Merlin's
that happened prior. That was Merlin before. That wasn't.
Okay.
That's not to come. That was before. But she's going to become the Lady of the Lake, because remember, she fell off the bridge. She's in a lake right now.
Yeah. But
So when
was,
she comes, when she reincarnates herself or wherever it's going to happen,
Right.
And
And
I love
she's gonna
people
come out
like
that lake.
Arthur
She's
that
gonna
we
be the lady
think
of the lake.
maybe the Arthur we know in the stories is this Arthur's son or whatever.
yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
No,
one last thing.
because
I got another thing.
his daddy is in there. Uther Pendragon
Uther
is in there.
Pendragon.
Oh,
But that
gotcha.
can't be. There's no way that Uther is his father in this show. There's no way.
No, it's not.
And they actually.
Well, I mean, I don't know what they're going to do with the story now.
Yeah.
They can
I
do
hated.
whatever they want.
Speaking of Uther Pendragon, I hated the way he talked. He talked in third person the whole time.
Yeah.
We are
He
not.
said, no, he
happy.
said we. He was
Oh yeah,
plural.
it's like second person.
He was like Venom the whole time.
Yeah, it was like Venom.
I know it was weird
Yeah.
because it took me a while to catch on to that. I was like, I thought maybe he's like we, like me and my guards, or me and my
That's what.
family.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about. He was like, and we and they. Like when he would always say we and they, but he was speaking about himself.
He's like, yeah, it was weird too.
That's weird.
We like this ring, Schmigger.
Yeah.
That shit.
So don't go see it. Don't waste your time.
You know what the biggest injustice with this is?
If we haven't already hit on it.
If season 2 comes out, I have to watch it.
You're right. You're so right.
Because I need the complete story. They stopped it, right? And there's stuff that I know that I've seen in the trailer that I haven't seen that was the part that brought me in. And so I figured, okay, so maybe from there it progressed. Now her character, since she's experienced death or near death or whatever, now maybe her character is going to be better. Like, I got to see where they try to take it from there and how it connects to Arthurian legend, or if they even are going to try to do that. But I don't know. Now I'm compelled. I'm invested now, and I can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the biggest injustice.
So I did like the Weeping Nuns twist at the very end.
Kind of. I mean, yeah, it was
cool because I was
unexpected.
That's they
cool,
they cut to black after he says it, and I was like,
yeah,
oh, okay,
yeah.
So that was
but
cool.
it's like this. I mean, I guess. And then it turned out that the little boy squirrel.
It's Parzival.
It's yeah.
Percival.
So, well, since you said that, so Weeping Nun is Lancelot.
Lancelot, yeah. The Weeping Nun is Lancelot.
And
he's Fae. That's the other thing that's crazy too. He's
right.
Fae.
Right.
So
anyway,
speaking of Percival, that's actually segues perfectly into our ad read. We're gonna do an ad read. This is the first time we've ever done this. Okay. So this episode of the Geek Retreat podcast is sponsored by Audible, audible.com. Audible is the leading provider in audiobooks with more than 180,000 downloadable titles across all types of literature, including fiction, nonfiction, and periodicals. Audiobooks are great to listen to while commuting back and forth to work. That's what I do. Or while doing chores around the house, or even while working out at the gym the next time a gym's open, because it's COVID and they're not open right now.
Or if you're just being lazy, don't want to read it like I don't.
Yeah. So for our listeners, Audible is offering a free 30-day trial. All you need to do is head over to audibletrial.com/geek retreat. Browse over 180,000 audio programs and download a free title and start listening. It's that easy.
That easy, y'all.
So speaking of Parzival, I want to recommend a book to you guys. I've spoken about it hundreds of times, and I've made references to it thousands more. Ready Player One. So the main character, his avatar is named Parzival because he was a knight of the Round Table. And it's Ready Player One is such an amazing book. It's it's so great. It's turned into a movie, and I've said it time and time again. The book is way better than the movie. So go listen to the book, and now you have a reason to. The movie's not bad. But when you read the book, you're gonna get lost in it. And I've read it multiple times, and that's a great thing about Audible. You can download books, and you can listen to them offline. So if you're going up to camping and going out of the hills, or just want to get away, you can pop in your book and listen to it. And this one's Ready Player One is read by Will Wheaton, which is he's an amazing voice actor for a whole bunch of stuff, and he just does such a great job. So again, all you need to do to get your hands on a free 30-day trial is head over to audibletrial.com/geek retreat. That's audibletrial.com/GEEKRETREAT.
also link in the.
We'll put a link down. Click on that, and it'll take you right there. Thank you, Audible, for sponsoring this podcast and making Traffic and Shores a little more better. I actually look forward to Traffic now because of Audible. You know what I mean? Like, I'm
got
cool.
something to do on there.
If I'm listening to a book and I'm into it, I'm down for like a 30-minute drive or a 40-minute drive. Like,
Traffic.
Yeah. Oh, dang. Hey, babe. I got to call my wife. Like, hey, babe. There I'm in traffic. And because my drive is like 15 minutes. So you can't really get into a book. But she'll tell you, like, there's times where I'm like, sorry, I'm going to go mow the yard. And like, we don't have a yard, babe. No, we have a yard. So it's cool. But
mow the yard in the bathroom.
It's crazy. We have a sponsor. I'm like pinching myself that that was real.
It's real, man. You're a real boy.
You're a real boy.
What do you expect, man? We the number one.
We're the number one podcast.
Casual Geeks podcast number one.
Mick, you should get a script. You should make a script for that.
That's number one.
All right,
number one.
So I think we've got cursed out of us. What do you think?
Yeah.
Okay,
so.
We're good. Jason, can you breathe now?
I think I'm good.
Are you still feel cursed?
Yeah.
So, well, let's move on to some other cool happier news. So, over the last week, we got a little sneak peek at. So Comic-Con at home happened, is what I'm trying to get at, and there was a little tiny teaser trailer from the Snyder Cut that got dropped, and it shows Superman coming down into Batman's Batcave workshop area, and Alfred's there. He goes, "You must be Alfred," and then it cuts. It's like 18 seconds long, and the big takeaway is that he's wearing a black suit, the black super suit. Which is cool because I was like, okay, what? Everybody's all hyped up about this black super suit. So I was looking into it, and the black super suit is also known as the radiation suit. Yeah. So it takes, So it takes power. It doubles the power, like whatever. It enhances the power of the sun, which is Superman's strength. That's how he gets his strength, from the sun. And it makes him more powerful. And it's in the comic book, it was used to transition him from death to like back to life again.
Right.
And so it like really makes sense this time why he'd be wearing it, because he's like transitioning back like to the real world, and like has to rekindle those relationships and kind of refine himself. And it makes him kind of more personable because he's not as powerful as he was when he left.
I got a quick question that's off subject about. Because I'm never really got into the DC comics, and I don't know really too much about Superman. I thought the reason why Superman was so strong was because the radiation wasn't as strong from our one sun. Right?
No, it's because he's closer to the sun. So the sun is where they draw the power. Where he is from, Krypton was too far away from the yellow sun, because where they're from is the red sun.
Okay.
So the red sun makes them normal. Yellow sun, which is what we're under on Earth. So the yellow sun, it gives you powers, and the closer you are to it, the more powers you have. So since we're just 3 planets away from the Earth's sun, he's really strong.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And so sometimes like you'll see like in certain comics or something like that, or certain iterations of them, after big battles or something like that, you've been fighting for a long time, he'll actually go up to the sun, like sunbathe there for a while. So he'll be in front of the sun.
Like a lizard, like doing push-ups on the rock.
Yeah. So he actually get closer to the sun, so he gains his power back, and then
Gotcha.
But,
I think it's really cool. I'm excited for it. I think
so. I'm glad they let some things out though, because actually he's not supposed to have a cape, but of course Zack Snyder is going to put a cape in there because he does awesome things with capes. So he's got a silver or gray cape on him.
It's like a gray cape.
Yeah, and then he was actually in the comic books. He had a mullet when.
He rocked a mullet.
But I'm glad they left that out. But it's pretty cool. I dig the fact that they let that in.
He did. So Zack Snyder, in his interview, he said that Superman's gonna play like a way bigger role. I feel like he's gonna kind of take the role of what Batman took in the Justice League that we did have. I
got a question for you.
Okay.
Now that this is coming about, because you ain't watched no Justice League.
I've seen Justice League.
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
You told me you didn't watch it.
I said
Did
it
you watch
wasn't. I didn't watch Suicide Squad.
No, I was the one that said I didn't watch
Oh,
it.
you said you didn't watch it. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. So I was gonna see if you're gonna watch it before the Snyder Cut to see the differences between them.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely watched it and I didn't like it. I was like, this is so crazy. Like, what's happening right now?
Yeah. All right. So I got you guys mixed up. There. I thought
Quit mixing us up.
you said.
No, I said it.
You said it. Okay. All right.
I said it.
But I mean, you didn't think that. Yeah, man, that's a different story, I guess.
What?
You didn't think that they did at least a better job with Superman in that movie?
I didn't. Wait, I didn't. You're asking.
You said that. Yeah.
I don't know. I felt like it was weird. It felt like weird. It didn't feel like real Superman. And then like they didn't give it any time. Like he goes and meets oh my gosh, Lois. He goes and like meets Lois and Martha at the ranch.
That is a house.
And like that's all you get of him like and then he's like better. You know what I mean? And then he comes back to the guys.
All you gotta see is your mama, man. You feel better.
I know, but like like you were dead. You're a superhero that was dead.
Right.
Like you gotta take a little more time. And that's why I'm excited to see the true version of it, because maybe there's more conflict in there and more. We get the one fight, you know what I mean, where they're at the statue. He's like fighting them.
That was so awesome.
It's like a great fight. I think that was a great fight, and like the way he looks at the Flash.
There's not a other movie
Never.
that can make an eyeball move so tight.
So terrifying and so
Man.
good. Yeah, you're just like, oh my god, like I'm not moving.
How you
My
do
hands
that?
are up. Yeah, that was a great
That was
shot.
awesome.
I really do agree with that. But it's like, give us a little more conflict. Give us more.
He's had enough conflict. He's had Man of Steel conflict. He's had Batman versus Superman conflict.
Right.
We don't need no more conflict from him. We need him to be Superman, and that's why I think he's better. He's still not the Superman yet that we know, but I think he's way better in this one. They gave us that thing in the front where he's talking to the kids, and the kid is filming him. And what do you like about Earth? And he's all answering their questions.
Yeah.
And then I think
His fake mustache gone. His fake upper lip.
Right. And then you got the whole part that you said about going home and getting reunited with his mom and Lois, and then even the interactions with the Justice League when they came to help him with Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
He's like, I know a little bit about truth and a little bit of justice. I like those moments, man. And like even when he was fighting him, he was all lighthearted, like he knew he wasn't a threat. So like, is this guy still bothering you? And he's not. Knocks him out.
So I just felt like it was a clustered movie more than anything. There were lots of good parts in it, but there was just a very like. Okay,
I'm talking Superman.
Like
I care about Superman.
Okay,
so,
okay.
Superman himself, because he's been on a roller coaster this whole Snyderverse DC cinematic universe kind of thing. So and they just weren't doing him right. And I thought finally this was the step in the right direction where they're like, okay, so we get Superman now.
Yeah.
First of all, they made him powerful like he's supposed to be.
Super
powerful. And then I think they gave him the characteristics personally that he's supposed to have, those qualities. So that's what made me happy about that movie. That's why it's on my guilty pleasures.
Your guilty
list,
pleasures?
You know?
Okay.
Because even though it's a it movie, like you said, it has great parts in it here and there spread through, and I think that they're on the right track with Superman. That's why I was so pissed off that they didn't give us Superman. Now you're getting your Superman right, but then you don't give us a Superman movie.
Yeah. So here's my thing with Superman. I feel like, how do I say this without like sounding like an idiot?
Without making walk away from this.
Yeah, without making Jason not talk to me, because I want him to talk to me. So like, Superman's too good. You know what I mean? Like, how is there ever any adversary against Superman?
You're talking about power scale.
Yeah, just like he's too powerful.
I thought you meant like he's
stops
goody-goody.
bullet with his eyeball. I mean, like, what could possibly be a threat to him? You know what I mean? Like like in the fight when he's all pissed off and they're at the statue and he's like nothing can beat him in that moment.
Doomsday.
Kryptonite.
Done. Goodbye.
I guess, okay,
Yes.
Yeah.
Batman.
Yeah, but like no person, no thing is gonna be more powerful than him. You know what I mean? That's like on their own.
His greatest nemesis is Lex Luthor. He's just a man. So I mean, think about that.
Okay.
So sometimes it's about outsmarting him because he's not I mean, he's not dumb, but he's not the intellectual leader behind
Okay.
the Justice League.
He's
He's
a
not
football jock.
he's not known for
Justice
strategizing and stuff. That's
Football
Batman.
joke.
He's
Yeah.
the quarterback of the Justice League.
He's the quarterback. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
But no quarterbacks because
Gets a D to pass math class, just so he could play football.
He's like the coach is the teacher, so he gets a pass.
So anyway, but yeah, I mean, you just gotta have the wits to do it, and because Lex Luthor's gotten close a couple of times. So
I hope DC can pull it
or
all
even you can
together.
do like Max. What was his name? Max Million? Damn it, I forgot his name.
I don't know.
It's gonna bother me.
I don't know.
But he actually mind controlled Superman.
Oh.
And so they actually made him work in his favor. So you don't fight him; you have him join you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't beat him, join him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So and then there's that method as well. And that happened a couple times. Because it's also, is it red kryptonite? There's red kryptonite out there that also makes him turn that way.
Now you're just making stuff up.
No,
You're just throwing spaghetti at the wall, hoping for something to grab.
There's red kryptonite, and it turns him evil, and it goes chaotic.
Okay. Yeah, I'm excited for the Snyder Cut. I'm not. I don't know. Are you looking forward to a 4-hour-long movie?
It's not a movie. It's a series.
Is it? No,
Yeah.
it's a movie.
No, it's a series.
What? Hold on a second. What are you talking about?
What you talking about, Willis?
No, it's a movie.
No, I've heard that it was a series. Am I wrong?
No, there's an HBO Max. There's a Batman series coming out.
No, yeah, because this is getting released on HBO Max, right?
Yeah, but it's a movie.
This is going to be released in episodic snippets.
I don't think
It's
so.
a movie. It's a series.
It's a movie.
It's a movie. It's a series. Series. It's a
Movie.
movie.
Series.
It's a
movie,
serious
series.
movie.
Okay, I'll look it up while you guys fill time. But it's a director's cut. It's not a film. It's not a series.
I don't know. I heard that it was not going to be a full movie. I heard that they weren't putting it in a movie form. I don't know. Like I said, I could be wrong, but that's how I interpreted. That's what I heard when I looked into it. So if I'm wrong, let me know. But I was under the impression that it's not going to be just the movie that they're putting out there.
No, I think HBO Max is putting the movie out, and then they're putting out the Batman, and then the Batman series.
Because the Batman's going to come way later. They're just talking about that. That's not being shot. I don't even know if they casted that yet.
The Batman with Robert Pattinson?
No, not that's the movie.
Oh.
You're talking about the HBO Max.
Well, yeah,
series.
I don't know. It's bad when like two things are named the same, and you're like,
right.
Movie series.
Yeah, it's a movie. It's a movie. How is the Snyder Cut different than the Justice League? Jason Momoa says it'll be a totally different movie. Original cinematographer Fabian Wagner says only 10% of his shots were used in the final version.
No, you're fine, definitive. Okay.
Snyder has revealed that his version is 214 minutes long.
Where'd you get 4 hours in?
Isn't that like 3 hours and...
You said 2 hours and 40. What did you say?
No,
214
minutes long.
Oh, okay.
That's like 2 hours or 3 hours and 80 something minutes.
Whatever. You do
80 something minutes. That's not real. You can't do that. My brain hurts. Here at the Geek Retreat, we don't do math. We just talk about. We're not math
We're
geeks.
geeks, not nerds. Yeah.
We're just
8 days.
8 days in a week. Yeah, it's a movie, dude. Why would they not? They're not doing a series.
Okay.
If you can prove me wrong, go for it.
Yeah, I'm going to shut up right now because I could possibly be wrong, but I'm going to, if I find out that
I'm going to stand on this hill, I'm going to die on this hill.
All right, sure.
Okay? That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
You've died on plenty of hills, Steve.
I'm just
died on
finding
a lot of hills. Black Widow Hill. I've died on the I'm Wrong Hill.
You fell off and hit.
I'm like the Jack and Jill of hills. I go up and I fall down and I break everything and I go back up.
Boom, boom, boom.
Hey,
then you land on your feet and then
slowly fall on my face. Oh man. Well, cool. So there's been some Halo news that came out. switching gears one more time before we wrap up.
Okay.
So Halo Infinite, remember they put out the really crappy trailer for their Xbox game show release? So they put out another trailer that was all like the real trailer, and it looks way better. Everything's like scuffed up and looks
See,
like.
we just have to give them a benefit of the doubt. I told you they weren't ready, man. COVID.
But
dude.
why are you not ready? That's not a valid excuse of not being ready.
It is.
You had time to prepare.
Yeah,
Anyway, let's move on. They did. So, 343 Studios did announce today that, like, as we're filming this, that multiplayer for Halo Infinite is going to be free to play.
Free. Gives a new
That's
meaning to
dope.
free for all.
Cross-platform?
I don't know about
Is it
cross-platform.
just-
It's just like it was a very.
Nobody caught it.
I think it was just for Xbox because it's an exclusive. I don't think it would be cross-platform.
But can't you play Halo on PC too?
Well, Windows PC.
Yeah, Windows PC.
Yeah.
I wonder if it'll be free for Windows
Actually, I heard,
players as
to
well.
take that a step further, I
take it one more
heard
step.
that Xbox in general is getting rid of their gold subscription,
Whoa.
and it's just going to have free online play.
What?
No, they've got to have some kind of Xbox
Hey,
Gold
hey.
thing.
Hey, PlayStation for a
Don't
long
kill the
time
messenger.
PlayStation didn't
Huh?
charge their customers for a long time for internet.
Right.
It wasn't until
yeah.
PlayStation 3 where it came in,
No,
Right.
But like
or
they
PlayStation
didn't.
4.
They
4,
didn't.
yeah.
If it worked as a business model, they would have kept not charging people.
I think they did it to be like Xbox. They figured, hey, Xbox is getting this extra revenue for their online.
Right.
Why can't we do it and get some extra revenue and
Right.
whatever? I don't know if it wasn't working. They just got greedy, I think. I have no evidence
I
to back
agree.
that up, but I'm just thinking because they did it, because like you said, they did it for so long.
For
They
a
did it
long
all
time,
on PlayStation
yeah.
3, and then all the way like halfway through after
Yeah.
the launch of PlayStation 4 to
And
do it.
PlayStation was the one that's initiated network.
But they still
play.
got to do some kind of like Xbox Plus or I don't know. They push the Game Pass. Maybe they'll do that as an exclusive thing.
That's
Game
probably
Pass.
yeah.
Because that's what basically PlayStation Plus is. It's like a
Yeah.
So the tweet from Halo, from the @Halo account says, Halo is for everyone. We can confirm that Halo Infinite multiplayer will be free to play and will support 120 frames per second on Xbox Series X. More details will be shared later.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Makes up for their shitty graphics. Well,
They've delivered.
they're
here's
not
the thing.
bad. They're just not it's not. There's not a lot of details on the guns like.
Yeah. So
where they brushed a lot of stuff up.
They
yeah,
got a lot. They just got
Well,
a few more stages.
I think
of
something that
rendering that they're gonna.
I think
refine.
something that we have preached from the very beginning, that gameplay over graphics. I feel like we've talked about that for a long time. It's like the reason Sony exclusives are so good is because it's not necessarily the graphics, it's the gameplay, it's the story.
Yeah, but
Right?
you don't give a game with you don't downgrade in graphics, right? If you
Right.
were to keep the same graphics, right, as the last game, like Gears of War 2. If you
Yeah.
keep the same graphics as Gears of War 2, but you bring me some more things you could do in Gears of War 3 or like a better story or whatever, I'll be more, like they added the executions and stuff online where you could turn somebody over and hit them, and the graphics weren't like too much better. That's you don't downgrade your graphics. They completely downgraded their graphics to, unless they're going like truly open world, like where they need the actual memory to.
That's no excuse. You got a new engine. You got a new generation console. But allegedly they fixed it. So
Right.
we'll see.
I hope they hold back on all their showings, and then when we get the game, everybody's just gonna be like, they totally like they sandbag it. You know what I mean? Like lower our expectations and then blow us away at release.
Yeah. You know what I've been doing?
What have you been doing?
Yeah, let's quickly get into that.
And the reason why I haven't been watching Curse, I've been stuck on this Ghost of Tsushima, dude.
Oh,
yeah.
dude.
It's dope.
I know it is.
Dope. A lot of people
How far
say it's like watching a movie, or playing a movie.
Yeah.
Some parts are, right? But it's real peaceful. It makes you want to just like take your time going through the game. It's not like super like stressful. Yeah, when you're going into battle and fighting other people, it is like you're like you feel badass because you're you know.
Yeah, how's the fighting mechanics? I wanted to ask you, like, how is it smooth or does it?
Oh, it's definitely smooth. It's
Tell
definitely
him,
smooth.
tell him what you told me it's compared to.
It's like I would compare it to the fight mechanics are like Batman Arkham.
Oh, really? Oh, dope.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Arkham City, where
Yeah.
you got the combo where you could, when they throw a punch at you,
You can counter and
counter. Yeah, exactly. Counter, parry, and all that stuff. It's cool. It's not to the extent of like a Dark Souls or anything where you have to really be on it.
You have to like watch for your moment to
right. No, they give you plenty of leeway. So the easiest play, you can even downgrade they're in the settings, right? There's certain mini games inside of it to get a special upgrade where you have to hit all these buttons in a row and do it you have to hit 8 buttons. They give you triangles, circles, square,
right,
L1.
like a quick time.
You have to hit them and do it like as quick as you can. You go in the settings, you could set it to even, then it's only 3 buttons that you got to press. They really cater to the person that like
that's playing
not very good at
or hasn't done one of those games ever. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
They could go through and beat the game easily.
Nice.
I don't know if you guys know what it's about.
No, give us a quick synopsis.
Yeah, give us some info.
Basically, it's about the first Mongol invasion on Japan during feudal Japan.
Right.
Or whatever, and it's the name. It's about this guy that's part of the Tsuji family, right? In feudal Japan, it's ran by families basically.
Yeah,
right.
And then the emperor talks to all these high families or whatever. Look up feudalism, you'll understand. But it's about this guy named Sakai, and the Mongols are taking over his part of the island, right? And they outnumber them 80 to thousands, right?
Yeah,
they're samurai, dude. They're gonna fight with honor and die with honor, to protect their own. They go out there and they get wiped out, and basically he gets left. He wakes up on the battlefield. He's like, what the heck? And they capture his uncle, and the whole story is about trying to save his uncle. And save his uncle. Okay. And then you're going through saving like these peasants and stuff. Oh, samurai. They said the samurai were all dead. Nope, I'm here. What you need?
Dope.
These Mongols over here. Go take care of them dudes. But it's pretty cool, man. Yeah, I really, really enjoy it.
Yeah.
So he's actually the last samurai, and not Tom Cruise.
Yeah, for sure. Not the last one, but the last
samurai,
one.
Is that movie where Tom Cruise makes the guy shoot at him?
What? Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I've seen that one.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, I'm glad it's a good game. I've heard nothing but positive about that game. Now I want to play it, and I don't even like those types of games. I asked you if it was anything like God of War, because like that's what I want to. That's the game I want to play again. I want to go back through God of War 4, but I guess it's nothing like that.
No, it's not. It's not like that. I guess with it compared to the skill trees, because the skill trees are very simple, like God of War, like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Way, way, way more open world than God of War.
Right.
The story is way more spread out, and it's gonna be a long one, like Red Dead. There's so much side stuff that I keep getting burned out on. I've only done like 8 of the main story missions because I keep getting pulled off.
Dude, I can't. If I do that,
so there's that,
I'll never finish a game. If I don't stick to the main story, I'll never finish an open world game.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like that too.
The map is freaking ginormous.
Really?
Ginormous. And they got a real cool idea. You know how when you need to go somewhere, there's a special mission over, you usually go into your map, you click it, and then there's a line on the ground to go.
Yeah.
Right. A line. No, they do it with the wind. So
nice.
Oh, that's why I kind of feel like the vibe that people are getting with movies and stuff. Right? You set your location,
dude,
right?
That's a good idea.
And then you swipe up on your iPad, on your pad,
yeah.
right? And then you see the leaves just pick up and start going all the way around you towards the direction you're
that's
going.
cool.
Sometimes
That's
it
cool.
gets disorienting because you're standing at a weird angle and you're like, oh, did it go this way? And you just do it again, and then you can find it. But it is the interaction with the world.
That's
sounds
good.
like
battle
That's a good
scene.
idea to do.
Yeah,
remember
dude.
that game Journey?
Yeah,
like
I remember.
Free to play game Journey, like that. Use the wind.
But way more detail.
Oh yeah.
And then you could do standoffs. It's so cool, man. Being a samurai, just sitting there getting ready to
like a duel.
do your first. Yeah. And then you see
That's
leaves
awesome.
just all quiet and like. And then he tries to strike, and you just watch out. I wish
some pictures on Reddit, and they're just amazing of that.
It's an amazing game. I would like to see it on 4K. I don't got a PlayStation Pro. I got a 4K TV, just not a PlayStation Pro. I think it looks real good on 4K. But one thing I do wish, it is gory, but not the gory that I want. I want to see some dude's head getting cut off or arm.
You want to see some limbs come on? Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, they just get real bloody, and you see blood, get thrown around.
Yeah,
but
I would kind of like to see some limbs.
It kind of takes you out of the immersion. The whole game is about this immersive situation where you're like, oh, like watching a movie basically, and then you take away the immersion when you go and strike at his neck, and he just goes, his face turns red.
Right.
But that's my only complaint of the game. It's a awesome game.
If that's the only complaint, that's a good complaint. Like that's a solid. That sounds like a solid game.
Dude, I still want to play that game, man.
It's pretty solid.
Nice.
It's pretty solid.
So, and the good thing about that too, like if you're saying if it's got so much things to do in there, dude, that's what I like about games too. Because sometimes I hate getting games and like you beat it so fast, and you're like, okay, now what do I do?
Well, that was a waste of $60.
Yeah. So it seems like you can enjoy it for a long time then. So you can do all these side missions, and on top of being able to do the actual mission, and it's a big immersive world to explore.
Yeah, definitely. And I think there is a lot of replayability in it. Just because you can, if I want to go in sneaky, I can. If I want to go in, swinging the sword, then we could go ahead and do that too.
Real quick, what's your in those types of games? What's your strategy? Is it always to go in stealth or?
Okay, most games, most RPG games, I always do the stealth. I sneak around with a bow usually.
Right.
Picking people off from the darkness. This one, it really, because Samurai Code, it's dirty to fight like being like a ninja, being a ninja, stealthy. It's dirty. Okay. You want to look your enemy in the eye and know I'm gonna kill you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's all about honor, and I'm not. It's dishonorable for me to go and try to kill you in the back. I'm gonna take you one-on-one, and I'm gonna show you that I'm better than you.
Yeah.
They really show that in this game. So I feel like when I go and start, because they really made a point of that when you're talking to your uncle and you're going through the story. I feel when I go fight a battle, I'm all like, I feel bad. I don't want to do that. I'm gonna go forget it. Stand off. All right, I'm here to fight you. Because when you stand off, he does this little speech, and then they send out their best warrior, and you just.
That's so cool, man. That's so cool,
dude. That sounds so engaging, man. I love everything you're saying about this game.
Get on it, Jason.
I need to.
They're really historical.
See, for you to be that engaged with a story right there, they're telling you the story, and then you feel it when it comes time to implement what they're talking about, or when it comes down to the fight, and it changes the way that you address something or where you go about playing the game. That's deep, dude. That means they really made a connection to you.
Yeah,
that's
really
hard to do.
Yeah, you really start feeling like a samurai, dude. Like peace with a mind. Union. You know what I mean? Because you'll see when you play the game, there's it's really supposed to relax you. Honestly, the whole game, 80% of the game is relaxing. You got all these nice views. You even got a flute that you could play that changes the weather. When it's raining, it turns it to a nice sunny day.
Wow,
you know what I mean? It's relaxing, and then you could get them up too if you want to. It's a good game. I like it.
Dude.
Hey, you know what else you can do that's relaxing while playing games?
Huh?
Listen to audible.com. In all seriousness, yes, you could do that. That's what I do sometimes. Put on a book, play a game like Call of Duty. I'm just awake and die, awake and die, awake and die. So cool. All right, man. Well, this has been a good episode. Talked about a lot of stuff. Jason got his feelings about Cursed out. He's like, you seem way less stressed. Like you.
I know. I feel
you're
good.
all. You're gonna go take a nap. You were exhausted.
Just carrying that burden.
Yeah, you just like hold it in and you finally let it go. That's good. So cool. Well, this has been episode 25 of the Geek Retreat podcast. We just really appreciate you guys taking the time to listen. We really appreciate your support in that way. A couple ways you can support us. We did say you can go to Audible and get your free trial through using our link, audibletrial.com/Geek Retreat. Put a link in the comments below. Go click on that. Go sign up. Every $1 that goes to that helps us out, helps the channel out, helps it grow. Another big thing is just word of mouth. Telling your friends that you're listening to this awesome podcast of 3 average dudes talking about games and stuff. And that goes a long way too. Go hang out with us on the Facebook page. We have a Facebook group. Search for the Geek Retreat in groups and you'll find us there.
Go buy some merch.
Go buy some merch. That's the other thing you do. We got some shirts out and we have a new order coming in. So our stock is growing and we're getting some other colors. We're getting a pink shirt with pink on black for the ladies out there. So we're not leaving you guys out. So go to that. Go to the Geek Retreat, thegeekretreatpodcast.com. And
hey, guys can wear pink too.
Hey,
then you can be the geek in the pink.
That's right. You can wear whatever you want. You do you. So go do that. Shirts are $15 a piece. And again, all the proceeds go to this channel, helping us grow, helping us get out there. But we love you guys and we're excited for quarantine and all this COVID stuff to be over so we can get back to life as normal. We can start having the podcast in the same room, which would be really nice.
That would be crazy, man.
Like, could you imagine we're being face to face having these conversations?
Like, what we do now?
How do we do this? We never done this before. Where do I go, George? But yeah, we go leave us a review too. That'd be awesome. Like on iTunes, on Google, on Spotify. Drop a review in there. Wherever you stream from, we're everywhere. So we appreciate your support. We are also on Twitter and Instagram, and go follow our Twitch channel. We stream sometimes over there. We do tournaments. We just had one a couple weeks ago. Nice community event. Another one is in the works for a later date. So I think that's it. One more time, I am your host, Steven, and there's Mick and Jason.
Yo.
We will see you guys on the next episode. Have a wonderful week, and don't forget to geek out. Geek out. Geek out. All right. That was bad.
Yeah, that was horrible. Edit that out.
Yeah. No, we're keeping it.
Later.
See ya.